David Gregory is making a Sunday appearance here in New York, hosting Meet the Press from New York City later this morning. Nice to have you here.
Good morning.
Good
to see you. Nice to be here.
So we've been hearing a little bit this weekend, further plans for President Obama when it comes to the event in South Africa this week, and former President George W. Bush, former President Clinton, former President Carter. What, though, will their role be as U.S. presidents at these events? Well,
I think just to be there, to pay tribute, to give it the sense of moment that it deserves, of international recognition that it deserves. And I think, for all of them at different levels, President Bush, who I covered, did not have the closest relationship with Mandela, but no doubt respected him. Bill Clinton, of course, very close. And President Obama, in a unique way, encouraged to go see him when he's still a senator. Mandela encouraged to meet with this up-and-coming star in politics. And for our president to be so moved by Mandela, to really have his own place in a civil rights struggle against apartheid, I think makes it very meaningful. So his presence will be significant.
When it comes to President Obama's presence on the international stage, as we know, he was talking about this potential for a comprehensive agreement with Iran yesterday. He said it's 50-50, or frankly, it could be worse. His approval numbers very low here. But when it comes to the international stage, how is his capital right now?
Well, I don't think it's exceedingly high. I think a lot of America's allies, particularly in the Middle East, from Israel to some of the Gulf countries, think that America has lost its nerve in some regard, particularly when it comes to confronting Iran. So I think there is some difficulty with our credibility because our economic standing has some impact as well. But it doesn't diminish America's overall power in the world and America's real influence in the world. That is still very, very strong, even if some people have doubts about President Obama.
And how much of a focus is there for President Obama right now in terms of international events? Not just Iran, but as we know, Secretary Hagel making his way to Afghanistan. Obviously, something needs to be achieved there.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I think that as you look toward next year, disengaging from Afghanistan becomes a huge priority, but really Iran is going to be the big test. That's the scary piece. That's the big security element, and I think it's true. No one knows whether Iran will ultimately do what President Obama wants it to do, which is to basically dismantle any pretense toward a nuclear weapon.